Welcome back to another week of FPL Faff. This is week 7. You're here with Jez, Jack, and Jim. I'm Jez.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Jim.
This week was awful.
Dreadful.
Awful.
Terrible.
This has been... I think this might have been the worst... No, actually, apart from Son scoring right at the end, I think this would have been the worst week of fantasy football I've ever had. Points-wise.
I think it would have been the worst that the average team would have ever had. I don't know what's happening with Sane. With Sane. Actually, we can call them Sane now. Son and Kane. The partnership is flying. It's literally insane. They're crushing it. I think without those two players, we're recording on a Tuesday evening. Without those two players last night, for a lot of teams, it would have been a game week to forget. So,
but boy, was it hard to watch.
Seriously.
All of the games were...
They were all just so... Like, there was no attack in any of them.
I was furious, livid the whole time, all the way through it all. And yet, somehow, I'm still top of the league. And also, somehow, Everton are still top of the league.
Yeah, that's not going to last.
This is
too long.
insane.
Everton have had their couple of weeks. They've got their glory at the top. They'll be 6th.
But even like all of the teams that you'd expect to do well, Chelsea, United, City, Arsenal, even Liverpool to an extent, none of those players turned up. I mean, it tells you everything you need to know when Patrick Bamford gets a hat trick, and that's the highlight of the game week.
Yeah.
It would have been a bad week for a number of different teams. For that reason, just none of the big boys really turned up, apart from Tottenham, and that they scraped a 1-0 win.
So that's interesting. Should we? So here's my question. Is it worth getting rid of some of the big boys and spreading around the cash a little bit more?
Absolutely. I don't have Trent anymore.
I think for this season, it definitely is. I think you've seen like the value in the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, even Antonio's been half decent. He's a little over 6 million. Obviously Bamford, I can't imagine it's going to last all season, but we've seen in the first 6 games that you don't have to hedge your bets on players. Timo Werner, prime example. A little over 9 million. He scored 1 goal and got 1 assist. No. So I take that back. 2 goals, 2 assists this season. You'd expect more from a player like him, even at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I think he will.
To be honest,
to
be honest, even just a mediocre player playing for a team like Chelsea, you would expect that the opportunities are going to come. You would expect that whoever's playing up top, whether it's, you could stick fucking Mitrovic in that team and you would think that he's going to get goals. And I'm talking this season's Mitrovic, the pile of absolute flaming dog shit that is this season's Mitrovic.
I still love that you played him. I love that you played him. And who did you play him for? Someone on your bench who
I played
got
him for
how
Dallas,
many
who
points?
got a clean sheet against Villa.
I can't say anything. I've got 15 points on the bench.
Points on the bench this week.
Yeah.
I know each one of us was stung, if not just the first sub, but several players on the bench that did well.
Mm-hmm. I find Mitrovic quite funny. I remember before the season even started and looking at the price, he'd come in at 6 million, and I thought, no illusion that people thought the Fulham were going to go down. I think they will, obviously. Mm-hmm. But looking at his last 5 games, he's got 2-2, 0, 2-2. Like not even he can save a team like Fulham. Like they are so dreadful. It's been quite funny to watch.
I wouldn't bring him on in my team if he was 4 million. Saying it right now.
But the question is, you've had him for a while. Like, are you going to keep him or are you going to twist?
What are you doing, mate?
Because I've had other transfers that I need to make. Obviously last week and the week before I was talking about how I had issues in my defense. Then KDB got injured. I had to get rid of him because I can't just waste that much money for 2 weeks or 3 weeks sitting on the bench. So I got in Robertson I got in Robertson. It was a toss up between him and Chilwell. They've both gone up in price. Fine. Chilwell.
Well, that went well for you, didn't it?
No, it didn't go well, actually. No, not so much.
Definitely not chill well for you.
Oh, shut the fuck up. So Chilwell's gone up 0.2. I'm stuck with Robertson. I'm very nervous after watching that Liverpool game. I think the penalty was the most
dreadful.
bullshit thing I've ever seen. But Fabinho at the back next to Gomez didn't look quite as solid as I thought it would have. Now
I was fine by that. I was fine. I was just really pissed that Mo didn't do anything.
See, I was okay with Mo not doing anything because 11 out of the 12 people in our little mini league captained Mo, so he didn't turn up. Not a big deal. And I don't think the other person captained Aubameyang, and he did fuck all as well. So that's fine. There was a blank across the entire mini league this week on the captains.
There was.
I am pissed. I was thinking about going for differential. I was like, okay, is it going to be Mane's week? And he got 2 assists and vice captain.
Right. I wanted to talk a little bit about the value of defenders this week. So I played my wildcard last week. I went in pretty heavy. I got Robertson, Castagna, Saiss, and Chilwell at the back, and Mitchell filling that 5th spot. But I think it's completely flipped on its head from last season. Not from Robertson, but even Chilwell's looking like a left winger at the minute for Chelsea. He was not doing that for Leicester last year. Even, obviously Luca Dean got that red card on the weekend. I was thinking about getting him in.
I don't think it was a red, but yeah.
I also don't think it was a red, but go on, Jack.
I don't think it was a red. He didn't intentionally mean to do it, but at the end of the day, it studs down the Achilles. It could have been horrific. I don't think it will be overturned. But the other thing that
it should be,
I think it should be. Will it? I doubt. But the one thing which I can't really get my head around is what the fuck has happened to Trent Alexander this season. Like Alexander Arnold last year was. He was incredible. If you didn't have him, you might as well throw your team in the bin. Like he has been,
correct.
He was that good. And this season, I think he's created, half the chances of what he was doing, at this stage last year. And then you've got Robertson on the other side, who's bagging a couple of assists. He's obviously got the clean sheet potential as well. But I mean, what's your thoughts on whether people should go with TAA? Or maybe switch it out to Robbo, because before the season began, I was convinced that Trent was going to stay in my team the whole season.
Same. I was with you. We spoke about that even before the first game week started, and I was like, I couldn't agree anymore. I think Jez, you were the same, right?
Yeah, no, I think that this may be a misquote, but I think in week 1 we said something like, if you don't have Trent in your team, you might as well just flush away whatever money you're putting on this. If you're throwing in money, just kiss goodbye.
I mean, we
to
can just
season.
click back and listen, but yeah, I think you're right.
I don't want to listen to your voice more than once.
Well, you do when you edit this. So
no, but that's just purely for my own. Obviously, I like to listen to myself talk. That's why I do so much of it to say so little.
Never mind. But yeah, no, you're right, Jack. And he is not in very good form, which I'm fine with an Evertonian perspective. And even now I don't have him in my team. I'm okay with it. I think he will be fine though. He will get his form. It's the beauty of the Prem as well, right? Like this week has been dire for a lot of people, but it's also been great. And for a lot of others that would never call. I saw one team who had all of the, I think 2 United defenders and 3 other Chelsea defenders. So they went with 5, and they just wanted a 0-0, and they scored a crazy amount of points. I mean, we all called the fixtures for this week, and we got them all wrong. Every single one. So sorry for our listeners.
Literally every single one.
I think
gave
so.
Really shit
Everyone
advice.
wrong. Yeah.
Yep.
But that's the beauty of the Prem. You can never be too sure. And I think it's just going to be a mad week. We always have these, and I think a lot of people that might mix things up a lot more going into game week 7. It'll be they might regret it.
So one thing, just to jump back to the Trent Robertson conversation. So Trent's gone down in value because a lot of people have gotten rid. Robbo's now at 7.1. I think it's weird to say this, but I think Trent could be a differential. Nobody's really backing him. And to be fair, I'm not advising getting him in because I'm even sort of doubting myself for getting Robertson in because I don't think their fixture's that great.
If he goes down to 6.5, I might think about it.
he'll get nowhere near 6.5. He may get down to 7.3.
I think, they're now 0.3 apart in valuation, which, I'm surprised he didn't start the season on the same value. I thought Trent was obviously better than Robbo last season points-wise, but I think their role within that team in terms of how high they get forward, the assist potential, obviously clean sheets as well, it feels like that's flipped on its head. I mean, Robbo's taken all the corners. For me, that's not as interesting as it was until Virgil van Dijk got injured. A lot of his goals came from corners. With him not there, you probably wouldn't look at Joe Gomez and Joel Matip to fill that void. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. And obviously Trent, if he's in and around the penalty area on free kicks, it's either him or Salah, and the majority of people have both of those players anyway. So it's kind of give or take. But I'm going to keep an eye out. You're right. If everyone's going for Robertson, that leaves a big differential in Trent. And we were looking at Robbo last week, and you're essentially paying a little over 7 million for a left winger for one of the best teams in Europe. It's when you got Harvey Barnes in that. Not that he's necessarily one of the best teams in Europe, but he's a left winger. He's around the same price. I know who I'd rather have. Between where you're going to shift your budget throughout the team.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I think my one thing with Robertson, where I think Trent is a little bit better, is Robertson doesn't look so comfortable in and around the goal. If Trent has to shoot from inside the box, he can do that pretty okay. I think I've seen Robertson score maybe once or twice in his Liverpool career, and he's had probably upwards of 50 opportunities to ping one in.
I memean, guys, they can both be terrible for don't have either of them in. Don't get them in. They're going to be shit.
Yeah.
Done.
To be fair, I don't think now's the time to go in on Liverpool defenders, especially with their fixtures coming up the next few weeks.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're far too expensive, and they're not keeping clean sheets, and also they're a shit team. And moving swiftly on.
Good segue. Speaking of shit teams, how did Everton do over the weekend, Jim?
Yeah, fair. I'll let you have that one. It was dire. I low-key also felt that something like this would happen.
It was bound to happen eventually, right?
It was a matter of time.
Do you know what I mean? I think the ref was paid. It's paid off. I think money definitely exchanged hands, and I think that's the only excuse I can come up with that poor performance. That's all I've got to say about that game, because it's just, I'm not being funny. The league top goal scorer has what 3 touches the whole game. It's insane.
I think it left me with.
I watched the entire second half. He touched the ball once.
It left me with two. It left me with 2 talking points. An unfit Jay Rodriguez means that Dominic Calvert-Lewin has nothing. That was the one thing. That's the one thing I thought. If you got a fit and thriving Jay Rodriguez, who James James Rodriguez even, who's moving in between the lines. He's got that final pass.
Watch the fuck out.
That's when DCL's at its best. The other frustration I had was I don't know how I've gone 6 weeks without even thinking about getting Danny Ings into my team. He just
I know, but we said that from the beginning. We talk about it
every fucking
week.
Every week. Why is he not in our team? Oh, he scored again. Why is he not in our team? He scored again.
If he doesn't score, he gets 2 assists. It's like the guy is... He's a points magnet. He's doing something, the bonus as well. He's someone who...
He's relentless. He's fucking relentless.
But he's just $1 million too expensive. For me, I would transfer DCL out in a heartbeat to get Danny Ings, but I can't. I mean, it's just 0.8 million that I don't have right now, and I'm not willing to downgrade any of the players that I've got to make that happen. So it's really, really tough.
Last season... I'm with you, man, and I think I completely agree. It's his value, and admittedly, it's probably fair for him to be valued that high. But no, not for me. Last season, I had him in. He was like 6.5. Absolutely, I'll take that.
Yeah,
Jobs are good.
6.5. Have him every day of the week. 8.5.
But will we? Did we have a shit week? All of us, essentially. What did we break? 45 points roughly each on average.
I mean, it was 44 for me.
48 for me.
46.
So I guess the thing to remember though is, don't panic because like shit weeks will happen, and when they happen, they generally happen to everyone because everyone sort of keeps the same types of players in. But it's just about making good, consistent choices. If you make a good choice, sometimes it doesn't always pan out. But
we're talking about one game week of 38. There's much more to come.
There's so much more. Yeah,
the Christmas period is going to be crazy. The one thing I haven't really been enjoying is how spread out the games are from a Friday night to a Monday night. You've got like 4 days worth of football, which I actually prefer when it's crammed into a Saturday and a Sunday because you can you really get excited by it. You look at the players a little bit more. I was watching actually Wolves the other day. Wolves are an interesting one because I don't think they're attacking. Raul Jimenez is, their only attacking threat.
Scored again
on the weekend. The one thing that I keep looking at because it is quite interesting is their system, Wolves, where they got 3 centre backs and then high left and right wingers. Saiss has been playing on the left and doing a good job of it. You've got the left back that they bought in during the summer, Marcel. He's on the bench. So I'm surprised that Saiss, who's traditionally a centre-back, is taking that left-back spot because the reason that's happening is Max Kilman has come in for 3 games and is absolutely storming it. Clean sheets, bonus points, the rest. Not only that, he's 4.1. But Saiss got substituted off.
Thanks for that, Melly.
On the weekend. And what makes me worried is that if Saiss has been substituted for Marcel, does that mean that Marcel goes left-back next week and Kilman keeps his spot at centre-back? Because what that could leave is
I hope so.
You've got Saiss on the bench, and that would really, really worry me because Wolves have looked very, very good at the back, but I don't want to have 2 Wolves defenders. I mean, that's not part of my thinking.
Yeah, no, totally.
I mean, I have 2 Wolves defenders, Jack, and it was going so swell. So swell. Until very late. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Look,
it's fucking savage. Absolute
late
scumbags.
Fucking goals this week. We got stung with Brighton. Jack, you don't have Matt Ryan in goal anymore, do you? You've got McCarthy.
I've got McCarthy. I've had McCarthy since game week 1. He's done quite well for me actually. I've liked him there.
So I took him out.
I got Matt Ryan in I think week 2 when I played my wild card instead of McCarthy, and I've regretted it every week since. I think he's got 1 point every week apart from one where he got a clean sheet. Like that late goal on the weekend, and against
ruined us both, mate. Ruined us both.
In the Palace game as well. Like, fuck off. I'm sorry, Fulham were the worst team that they could have been playing in the 4th division, and they still probably wouldn't have won. And all of a sudden, Kearney just pings one in. Great, points gone. Fuck's sake.
But guys. Yeah, we never saw this coming. And guess what? Matt Ryan has Spurs away to deal with now. So,
yeah. Which is...
You know what? I didn't follow through. I didn't follow through when I said I would shoot myself if one of about 6 things happened and all 6 of them happened. But
yeah, what are you still doing here, mate? Jesus.
Man, yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Do you know what? I should regret, but I'm not regretting at the moment, but I will definitely eat these words. I took out McCarthy. He did really well for me. But I just saw long game Matt Ryan bagging more points. Sadly, that hasn't come into fruition at the moment. But I still have a little glimmer of hope that it'll pull through. So let's just see.
My worry,
I don't want to turn it around.
My worry for Matt Ryan is he's kept 1 clean sheet out of 6. He didn't even get any bonus points for that clean sheet. But they're not. He's not making a tremendous amount of saves. Like he's either conceding 1 goal and that's ruining his clean sheet, but he's not getting any save bonus points or any of that, which would be my worry. You flip that to someone like. He's a little bit more, but Carl Darlow of Newcastle, who I was looking at the other day, he's made 31 saves this season, and that's racking up all the points. Not only that, he's made a penalty save against United a couple of weeks ago, so he's actually behind. He's behind Martinez as one of the standout players. which I find quite interesting.
I just can't get myself to I can't bring myself to get behind a Newcastle goalkeeper.
No,
sorry, I don't trust him.
Not at that price.
Sorry, no. But what I would, and I am thinking, is Meslier.
Meslier?
No, for Leeds.
Yeah, Meslier.
Yep.
Is that Meslier? Oh,
yep.
Fuck.
He's French, Jim.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, Meslier. Yeah, honestly, he's 4.5. And Leeds are looking pretty good at the back, considering.
Not a bad shout. I looked at him too. The thing that put me off was fixtures. They've got, in their next few, they've got, I mean, I'm looking at it now, they've got Leicester.
Leicester, Palace, yeah.
Arsenal, Everton, Chelsea. I didn't fancy that. But but they're a good team, Leicester. I mean, you've only got to look at their league position to kind of tell you how well they're doing. Not a bad, maybe something to look at later on.
Worth mentioning that due to the injury of Calvin Harris in the midfield, Strujic has come in 4 million classed as a defender, and he's going to play in the midfield for Leeds for the next probably 5 weeks or so. Is that something to consider?
Maybe. I do. I mean, I think he's a defender, so he doesn't have the midfield attributes, but he is one of those where if you're looking for a cheap option, he's a Lundstrom of last season. Potentially, I don't think he's going to be doing as good as that, but same idea of a cheap defender playing out of position. That's why I've quite liked the look of Castagna and Chilwell. They're not cheap, but they are playing very, very high up the pitch. They're either taking set pieces. Like, you got to look for those kind of players that are doing that. They're the two that stand out. Obviously, Robbo and Trent, everyone knows about. The one thing that I couldn't help but notice is Edouard Mendy, Chelsea goalkeeper. He's played 2 Premier League games. He hasn't conceded a goal yet. If he's going to get the number 1 jersey for the remainder of the season, which I suspect he will, you've got to look at the likes of Chilwell as really, really good options, because you've got someone who's big at the back, making those saves, keeping clean sheets, but also while he's doing a job behind, keeping balls out of the net, you've got Chilwell running in practically a left winger position. Chelsea look very, very fluid when they go forward. They obviously didn't do it on the weekend, but I like the look of them for attacking returns. I think it'll only be a matter of time until Kai Havertz in particular just completely turns it on.
He's gonna be like Hazard. He's gonna destroy the league. He's gonna just absolutely smash it. I'm not three
so sure
seasons
about
ago, that. Hazard was the man to have. He was like the KDB last season.
I think Havertz is going to be okay this season. Next season, I think he'll be a turn-up king. I would steer clear of him right now. I think he's a little bit too expensive, and there's some better players for lower prices.
I think he's still dropped value. I think he's still at 8.4.
Let's think about it. Who's around that price range? You've got Grealish, you've got Zaha, you've got J-Rod, and they're all less expensive, even after all of them gaining value than Havertz. And especially, he does
also,
play like
guys,
an attacking midfielder, but Zaha's basically a striker.
Sorry to cut you up, but I find that surprising. Even because he didn't do anything, he's still gone up in value.
I think he's just consistent. He's like one of the top point. I think behind Son? He's there as a second highest point scorer. It's definitely worth talking about Zaha. He's got 5 goals in 6 games. Their fixtures as well, Palace. They've got Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, Newcastle, and West Brom. I mean, that is, you couldn't hope for much better than that. He's definitely a player that I'm looking at. He played really well in the Fulham game as well.
He will be entering my side just after the start of next game week, so I'm banking a transfer.
Okay.
Because I don't have. So I'm going to get rid of Sadio Mane after this game week, because I think
interesting.
Who have Liverpool
got? I think that's a mistake. But go on.
Well, sorry. Okay, Liverpool have got West Ham. Following week they've got City, then Leicester. I don't really fancy that. I've already got Mo Salah in. I think that'll do the job.
Yeah, I think maybe get rid of Salah.
I thought about it, but I think it's too early in the season to go to just leave it all on the line. If I'm going to get Salah out, I'm probably not getting him back in, because he's going to be too
because of his
expensive.
value. No, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah,
And
you could
at the
probably
moment,
get
not many
Mane
people
back
have
in.
Sadio. It's kind of the easy choice, you know.
I
don't want to go for broke.
The only thing
right
I said about Mane is that he's a massive differential. Less than 10% of teams have Mane, and he's already got 4 goals and 2 assists, which is great. He's one of the top scoring players.
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing. I'm not looking for a differential. I'm not there anyway. I'm looking to hold on to Mo because I think that he's going to be turn up king, and I want to look to someone like Zaha, who again he's not that widely owned. He's an okay price,
No.
and then he's going to allow me to get somebody like Harry Kane in up front. Because think about it, if I get rid of Mitrovic and Mane for Zaha and Kane, that feels like a smart choice.
It seems smart. So you're banking a transfer this week, Jez. What is your formation going to be for game week 7? And who is going to be your captain?
So I'm going to be playing a 3-5-2.
You're doing a gym.
I'm thinking about doing a gym. Fuck me. I am thinking about slapping it on Mane, actually.
Nice.
That is a huge differential, and for your sake, I hope it does not pay off.
Fuck you.
Did I say for your sake? I meant for all of ours.
Yeah. So my thing is this. I probably should have done it last week. I was thinking about it. Now that I slap it on Mane, for our listeners out there, put your armband on Mo Salah. He will score 6.
Okay. Jack, what's your formation for game week 7?
My formation for game week 7 is a 4-3-3, which is exactly how I lined up in game week 6. So McCarthy in goal.
You made a transfer.
Robertson, Castagna, Saiz and Chilwell in defence. Salah, Son, James Rodriguez, who still has the injury doubt.
Yeah, I see that.
And then up top, I've got Neil Maupay, who has disappointed me, to be honest. I was very
happy about that.
I was hoping...
Not gonna lie.
He's blanked against Palace and West Brom. I was hoping he was going to score on both of those, and he hasn't. So that
Mistake. Bring him in.
bring him in. What?
Yeah. Yeah, you heard. I was trying to do a melody. I fucked it. Never mind. But yeah, huge mistake bringing him in.
Yeah, it has
and
been.
I'm very happy about that.
In hindsight, it's been. I was hoping he was going to be a bit of a differential.
How much is he as well?
He's 6.5.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
That's fine.
Not bad. Still, annoying. So him and Calvert-Lewin and Harry Kane. John McGinn is my first sub.
Who you were going to captain?
I was never going to captain him, but I did put him. I actually did talk about the fact that I would, and I'm glad that I didn't. But he was never too seriously in my thoughts there. So I am going to play.
No, I meant Kane. You're going to captain Kane, weren't you? Well, you're thinking of it.
Oh, Kane, yeah, no, I was. I switched it up. I actually had him. Yeah. He was captain for a long, long time.
I'd regret that decision. I regret not captaining Kane or Son.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I was going to say I regret not captaining Son. Kane was in my thoughts for a while. He got the assist late on. Was glad that he did something. I panicked on Salah. I knew everyone would, and if he did really well and I didn't captain him, I would have hated myself. So
yeah, correct. That's fair.
That was exactly my thought process.
Yeah.
And he is looking like he's going to be my captain again. He's got West Ham at home. I'm probably going to put the armband on him. I've been looking at Son and Kane. They've got Brighton at home. Brighton, who haven't kept a clean sheet yet, which is good. I do have 2 free transfers, which is the first time I have had that all season, which I'm quite excited about. So I wouldn't use 2 free transfers because I want to have 2 for next week, but I am considering one change. It will probably be for Maupay, but Maupay's a striker and Wilfried Zaha is a midfielder, and I want Wilf. So I'm probably going to have to play around with a few scenarios there. There's no one I really want to take out, bring in for Maupay just yet, so I'm going to have to look at that.
Okay, and you are going to be captain. No, interesting.
What's your
yeah,
team? What's your gym?
Cool. Yeah, mine. It's a classic gym move. It's a 3-5-2.
I think they call that a jazz.
Good one. Good one. They'll call that a jazz when a jazz is top of the league, mate. So, you know.
So what you're saying is they called it a jazz in week 2? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they called it a jazz in week 2. I'll let you.
And never
I'll
again.
let you have that one. Yeah, never again. But like I said, in week 2, you had a tiny turn up. You played the wild card, which was a mistake.
Yeah, all right. To be fair, I'd kill for a tiny turn up right now.
And the league's got back to where it should be.
Incorrect.
For the most part.
Incorrect. What's your team? You prick.
Yeah, at the moment, Kane has my armband. Because against Brighton,
nice.
It's going to be pretty big. I do have Matt Ryan in goal, so YOLO. Not a clean sheet there. I have Sace, Zuma, and Chilwell. I have benched Kilman, benched Ayling.
Ooh.
Obviously, I'm going to bench Brewster. I have Fernandes, Salah, Son, James, and Jorginho in my midfield.
Oh, that is strong.
Yeah, obviously,
Nice.
tied up front with Kane is my boy Dominic, big Dom, and I'm hoping against Newcastle, even away, it will be a hard game. It shouldn't be, but it will be. It'll be a scrappy one. I am praying that we turn that awful defeat around and get back to good form. So I really do think that we'll at least James, if he plays, because he might be rested, he'll play half of the game. But I do hope that Dominic will do something. I'm not going to make any changes as you are, Jez. I'm going to be banking a transfer.
Nice. So just one thing before we get into the transfers in and out, I want to make mention of James Justin.
Oh, do you have to? Fuck's sake. I took him out a week
got rid
too early.
Prematurely. So you fucked it there.
Yeah, I did.
What I will say is Ricardo Pereira looks to be out until at least mid-December right now. So James Justin's got that spot locked down. He's how much is he worth now? 4.8. He's probably going to keep going up.
No, he is, and I obviously I got him in when he was 4.5, and I want him back in, but I'm so reluctant to do it for the higher price. I'm so reluctant because my team value is very good right now.
He's not worth getting in for 4.8, but he is worth holding on to if you still have him from 4.5.
Absolutely, if you still have him, keep him.
Definitely.
So
that Pereira news was welcome to a lot of managers, and and to his credit, not only is he just a cheap defender on fantasy football, but he deserves to keep hold of his place. He's actually done very, very well for Leicester this season.
He played well.
He has.
Did play really
he
well.
has. I was frustrated. For me, if you're able to choose between him and Castagna, I don't think there's much of a choice there. But you are saving upwards of $1 million, which is, of course, crucial.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I just want to throw it out there. We're talking about defenders. I benched on my second sub. It really, really, really angers me. Zuma, who got 9 points. I am thinking that's fair. Honestly, it frustrates me so much. I am thinking of actually transferring him out for Cancelo.
That would be an unwise choice.
I know. I think it'll be stupid, especially this week because they've got Burnley.
Please do. I want you to make bad choices.
But I kind of want either Diaz or Cancelo. I'm looking at City turning it around fairly soon. He is a player to watch. I'm looking at the transfers in for him. I don't think he's going to make our top 10, so that's why I'm going to talk about it. He is... Let me double check. He is in 128,000 in. Okay. That's quite a lot.
Who's that, Jim?
I will.
Cancelo.
Wow.
1,000 got him out. Sorry, no, that's a mistake. It's 12,000. 12,000. I'm seeing X as 0. So it's quite a lot. 1,000 out to 12,000 in. It might as well be 13,000. Yeah, and he hasn't gone up yet, but I can see him coming in. It might be a bandwagon thing because he got an assist, but I feel like, he's one player in that City side that is in good form.
I think so. In 3 weeks' time, I'm going to want a City defender in my team. So in game week 10, they're going to have Burnley, followed by Fulham, United, West Brom, Southampton, Newcastle. That's a pretty good run of fixtures.
It is. Also, the reason why I'm thinking of Cancelo is because he started at 5.5. He is 5.4.
I like the idea of getting players in early, particularly for this one. I want to see more from City. Not only are they not keeping clean sheets, but they're not winning games, which is concerning. Like, I think we saw the news Aguero is going to be out for another 4 weeks. KDB is just being edged back into the action. Like, they're missing their 2 best players, and they're not winning. That's a problem. I mean, I like the idea of having a City defender. Especially around that 5.5 mark, it's affordable. Slightly too soon for me, but I definitely want to get rid of Zuma. I'm looking at the actually, this is a good segue into the top 10 transfers in and out, for which Zuma does feature. So we'll take it from the top of.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Sorry, Jack. Just one more thing. So Patrick Van Aanholt came back from injury and played a few minutes on the weekend. Is he somebody to look at? Again, trying to get somebody in early, because he's typically a very attacking defender, plays for Palace, who are pretty strong at the back. You would think that he will probably come straight back into the starting lineup when he's fit. Is he somebody to get in at 5.4?
I would say so, but he's been on the bench for the last couple of weeks. For me, that suggests that he's fit to play if he's on the bench, and the fact he hasn't started is surprising. I think Tyrick Mitchell's done really well at left back, and Roy Hodgson doesn't surprise me to be the kind of manager to kind of bin off young talent when the older veterans coming back. The one thing though is that it's frustrating because Van Aanholt he's been an FPL king for many a season.
He has. He really has. He was last season in most of ours. Didn't we all have him?
Yeah, we did.
We did, and with those fixtures that they've got, Palace as well. I mean, there's clean sheet potential there. I would definitely look out for him.
I think so, and he's also gone down in value. He's 5.4, so just you're wise to have him on your radar right now. I might have to agree, but like Jack said, it's smart to get someone in early bird style and hopefully reap the benefits, get the rewards. But yeah, we're playing it quite safe at the moment. I don't think anyone's made a crazy move.
Not yet. That's for later in the season.
Just wait until 3 weeks' time when I come onto this pod crying.
I mean, you make a crazy move when you take a screenshot of your best 11. You take a screenshot nearly every day of your best 11 with like a minus 38 points, and I'm like, do it, please do it.
Jez, this is when you get Martin Montoya. Tanganga, like all of the players that I don't know, Matty Longstaff, all these shit players that no one's ever backed. This is when you take your rogue opportunity to get him in. This is when,
and I brought it up a while ago in one of our pods. This is when you bring in Jordan Henderson and he gets like 2 goals and an assist or some shit like that.
That's what you
That's
did,
still
Rossi.
the best thing that I did last season.
That's it. I'm done with you speaking, Jack. Go on.
All right, we'll go top 10 transfers in. Unsurprisingly, after his massive hat-trick haul last week, Patrick Bamford.
On the bandwagon.
We should talk about that. That was actually the best game of the week, of the weekend.
Just because it was the only game where it wasn't grim.
Yeah. There's nothing to say much, but
300,000 people have bought him in so far. A close second is Wilfred Zaha. Again, not too surprising.
Smart.
Ben Chilwell, number 3.
Pains me to think that he's gone up in value 0.2 during this week, but
he's
that makes
5.8,
sense.
Jez. How does that make you feel?
He's now 5.8, yeah.
Makes me sad that I'll get him in 3 weeks' time for 6.
You know it's going to happen. Number 4 is Son, unsurprisingly. I don't think I've seen this high before. 56% of managers have got Son in their team, which is very impressive. Harry Kane comes in at number 5, 41% of teams. Another player you don't have, Jez. Number 6.
Wow, okay.
Number 6 is Roman Saiss of Wolves.
Another player you don't have, Jez.
And number 7, we've talked about him already, Max Kilman. He's there. 4.1.
Another player you don't have, Jez.
He's only going to go up in value, I'm sure.
And he already has for me. Thank you.
He already has. Number 8 is Jack Grealish, who has got 4 points in his last 2 games. So I'm surprised to see him that
surprising. He went up in value, I think, again this week. And considering he did fuck all and they got dicked on. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that is interesting. Completing the top 10 in places 9 and 10 are both from Chelsea. They are Kurt Zouma and Jorginho.
Yep.
Wow. Hello, my team. Welcome to the gym squad. It's my pleasure.
No mention of Emilio Martinez in that list. Feels like the kind of bandwagon has gone off him somewhat. Right, now let's focus on top 10 transfers out.
Yeah, I just want to say something that Jez is also going to really love for me to bring back up. Remember, before the game week 1 started, you had Ben Chilwell in your team all the way up to the final day?
Because he was injured, man.
Yeah, yeah. And did I not mention that it could be wise to keep him on your bench, even though he wasn't?
And I didn't do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make our listeners aware.
Transfers out.
Transfers out. Unsurprising, he's not playing next week. Luca Dean is number 1 out. 250,000 of managers have got rid. This one makes me laugh. He is not going to be able to play for at least 9 months. Virgil van Dijk is number 2 on this list, with still 12% of teams still have him in their team.
Why?
Which is hilarious.
That differential in 9 months' time, man. Come on.
Yeah. Number 3 is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who I'm just going to read the stats. I'm looking at them now. He's played 6 games. He's only missed 2 minutes of football this season. He's played 6 games. He's got 1 assist and 1 clean sheet. That is not good enough for someone of his standard. So he has been off for over 100,000 managers so far. James Rodriguez, number 4. Still with that injury concern. Still got that injury concern. That one's slightly understandable. As is this one. Aubameyang is 5th, who is just falling down in value all the time.
Oh, that game. And I actually went to the pub to watch it, and it was dire. Oh my God.
Yeah. I was optimistic for Aubameyang. He got 1 goal in his first game week. He got an assist in his second game week. And since then, he's played every minute and he's done very, very little. You'd like to think it's only a matter of time until he turns it around. But right now, he's showing no signs of that. Number 6 is Jez's favourite player, Mitrovic.
Useless
who is
sack of shit.
Rapidly going down in value. Number 7, weirdly, is Jack Grealish. So a load of managers getting him in and a load of managers getting him out. Which is always fun. Number 8 is Willian. A bit like Aubameyang. Started the season really well, 3 assists on his debut, and since then he's failed to do anything. He's now injured. Number 9 is Callum Wilson.
That's surprising.
I find that surprising. Yeah, he's done half. He hasn't done half bad for Newcastle. And number 10, people are still getting him out with good reason, is Timo Werner.
Smart. Makes sense. I'm looking at potential good scout what's the word? I can't even
Hicks?
think of the word. Value. I don't know. Both of them are 5.8. So full midfield, by the way. There's Theo Walcott, which I feel like he's on loan from Everton. I doubt we'll.
Jim, that's just an awful recommendation.
I know it might be, but also Ward-Prowse as well. Both 5.8. I think as a differential,
so hang on.
those two might be.
One of them plays and is a very good player, and one of them is Theo Walcott.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm thinking possibly he might. I've seen him. I've been watching him play.
There's no chance. He's not going to get a start this season.
Ward-Prowse though, 11 points last game. Pains me to say it.
Walcott, I kind of get. He was good against Chelsea. I remember watching that game. He was decent. He was creating chances. He was a threat. But I worry about his minutes. I don't think he'll play. He won't play 90 minutes every game for the rest of the season.
No chance.
No, but what he would do is that he'll, potentially keep a clean sheet bonus by getting subbed off and then conceding. So
that's true. Yeah, that could definitely happen.
Yeah, but I'm not looking for my midfielder to come off after 60 minutes. That's
no,
not at all what I want.
Speaking of next game week, should we talk about the fixtures that are up and coming?
Let's do it.
Why not?
Let's
get
see
it
if
wrong
we can get
again.
at least one right.
Yeah. Let's start off. Wolves against Palace.
Oh, I'm actually going to give this one to Palace. I think it's going to be 1-0.
I'm going to call a Wolves clean sheet. Please let it be a clean sheet.
Nope.
I'm going to go 0-0.
2-0.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's fine. Do you know what? I don't even know anymore. I can't even call it. It's gonna go one way or it's gonna go the fucking other.
That's generally how it works, Jim.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Sheffield City.
Oh God.
It's got to be a City.
I'm gonna say
one.
City.
I would want Sheffield. I want Sheffield to win.
I would love Sheffield to dick on City.
Same.
Sadly, it's going to be 6-0.
I mean, I don't care about this game. Neither of them are involved in my team. In fact, none of your teams, I think. So
I've got Brewster sitting at second or third sub.
Yeah, it's third, and he's going to stay there. Jesus.
I'm going to go
2-0
City.
Yep, that sounds about right. I'm still going to go with 6-0.
I'm going to go.
I think Raheem's going to get 4.
I'm going to go 2-1 City.
Wow. Okay. Burnley and Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea.
3-1 Chelsea, okay. I think this one's going to be a bit tighter than it should be. I think it's going to be 1-0 Chelsea. Liverpool, West Ham. So I actually think Liverpool, West Ham is going to be the game of the week. I don't know how... Well, actually, one of the games of the week. One of the top two. I'm going to...
It's going to be 3-2 to West Ham.
How dare you?
3-1.
No, sorry.
3-1 Liverpool.
Fucking dare you?
3-1 West Ham.
Okay, fine. I'm also going to go 3-1 Liverpool. Villa, Southampton.
This will be a good game. I think this will be a really, really well fought
I hope it
contest.
will be. Yeah.
I think you can't pick apart these two teams. I'm going to go 1-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 Southampton because if they can beat us, they can beat anyone, and so they're going to beat Villa.
I think this is going to be 3-2 to Villa. I think it's going to be goal fest.
You're both wrong.
Incorrect. Newcastle, Everton.
It's probably going to be a Newcastle win. Fuck's sake.
I think I've never been more confident of a result. I think this is going to be 2-1 Everton.
I think you are incredibly wrong. It's going to be 1-0 Newcastle.
Whoa.
No. Do you know what? I'm going to go, and I'm going to be very optimistic and go 3-0 to Everton.
Wow. Okay. Wrong.
Yeah. No, I'm being really optimistic. I don't back my boys as much as I should. But the reason why I don't is because I do and they don't perform. So that's why I'm like, they'll lose and then they win.
So therefore, this week you're saying they're going to win, so they're going to get dicked. It is a Newcastle win. It's just been confirmed. Newcastle have won the game.
Moving on. Man United, Arsenal.
Oh, always my favourite game of the season. I love watching this game. You're not
going to love this weekend. Man United 2-0.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. I think United are great away. They're very, very good away from home. They're not as good at Old Trafford. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
No, I do.
Okay.
Sorry, Jack. I do feel that United might have this. It's only because they just did not have what it takes to be at home against Leicester. I don't get it. I don't know why they struggled.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was frustrating. Saka, sorry, I don't think we give that boy enough credit. I think he was really unlucky.
I think we give him credit because he's a good player, but he doesn't get the minutes
great.
that he should, which shits us when it comes to fantasy.
I'm talking about Saka, not Xhaka or whatever.
I'm talking about Saka.
Yeah, but I think he played the whole game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he doesn't always get the start. He doesn't always get the minutes.
Maybe not.
He's a 1 point special. That's what he is.
I don't think so. I disagree there. I think he's going to be a differential. I think Arsenal just, again, haven't had their flow, but they will get it. I did think they were going to beat Leicester. I honestly, I said they were going to be at their best, and they just weren't. But I think it is going to be a United win, and I'm going to agree with you, Jez. Believe it or not, I'm going to say a 2-0 to United.
I did say 1-0, but that's fine.
No,
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to listen to this back.
You'll listen to this back, and then you'll.
I'll listen to this back, and
right.
in the edit, I'm gonna make it right. I think Rashford is going to be a really good player. I think he's going to score. You might be right. It might be 2-0. And if it is 2-0, I think he's going to score both. Hopefully with 2 Bruno assists.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. And then just to mix it up, because I don't think anyone's kept Rashford in. I mean...
Not a soul.
And he is one to have in. He really is, I think.
I think he's about to come into a great run of form.
Yeah.
Spurs Brighton.
I mean, it's got to be a Spurs one. I feel with they're just they really did struggle. It was a hard game to watch, but they powered through, and I think it will be another Spurs victory. Brighton are really unfortunate. They really are, but I can't see them keeping a clean sheet. I'm gonna say a 3-1 to Spurs.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs.
I'm gonna say 3-1 Spurs as well. So this is gonna be the worst game of the week.
Oh, it really is.
Fulham.
Oh my
West
God!
Brom.
I just saw it. I don't even want to say it.
If Mitrovic can't score in this game, I will shoot myself. You have my word this time.
They're false promises, Jez.
I'm putting my life on the line for Mitrovic, the laziest player since Anthony Martial circa 2018.
I'm gonna say that he's gonna score in this, and it's gonna be a dreadful, dreadful match, but it will be 1-1.
Yeah, Jez is gonna bench him. He's gonna be a second sub.
He's playing, man. He's playing.
Oh, the hopes
he's going to
you've
score me
got.
some fucking points.
Do you know
or
what?
I'm going to shoot myself.
This has got a West Brom victory all over it. I see.
It does, doesn't it?
I see.
It's going to be
it does. It
2-0
really
West Brom.
does. Sorry, West Brom are going to do this. They're going to do it 2-0. They're going to do it with style. Sorry, Fulham.
I do agree. It's going to be 2-0. Also, what's going to happen? Probably Mitrovic injured in the 37th minute,
whilst injuring someone else.
Having missed a pen.
and he'll get a red card. Oh. All of those things.
And getting sent off, and then you take some minus points.
Headbutts the referee for good measure, and he's out for the next 10 games.
Yep. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to get rid of him as soon as the first game kicks off this weekend anyway. Leeds Leicester. This is the other interesting game I'm talking about.
I'm super excited for this one.
Yeah.
I think Leeds are gonna have it, and I think it's gonna be a 2-1 to Leeds.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Leicester.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna go for the other result. I'm gonna go 2-2.
Ooh,
I think Bamford's gonna score. I think Vardy's gonna bag 2.
Oh yeah, guys, we didn't mention it. It came back off a
Jamie Vardy scores when he wants.
Yeah, it's fairly long.
It's a simple
time out. Oh, he's still too expensive to bring in my team. I think I'm not taking him out for Kane. Just not a chance. But it just shows how much Leicester miss him. They need their prolific.
Leicester without Jamie Vardy are an okay
Vardy.
team. Without Jamie Vardy, they're a 9th place team. With him, they're 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting was seeing that Harvey Barnes was playing up front with Mads and Perez. Was it Perez? I know Perret. It was Perret against Arsenal. That was it against Arsenal? Oh, I can't even remember. Anyway.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. I thought, you know what? Barnes is a hit or miss kind of guy, but he's quality. But as soon as they took him off for Jamie, there you go. Big things happened.
Big things.
Mm.
So, speaking of big things, if you are listening to this right now, click subscribe, click follow, click download, wherever you're listening to this, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Get on it, get on the socials and leave us a comment. Let us know what you like. Let us know that Jim is a dickhead and he will fall back to his natural resting place of 7th place.
2nd.
Yeah, 7th. Yep, exactly.
Good one.
And go and follow us on all the socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find us at FPL Faff. Guys, this has been fun. Until next time.
Until next time.